Welcome to the Effects Loop. I'm Diaz.
And I'm Chris.
And we're keeping you in the loop of the guitar community. This episode's brought to you by our Patreon. So our supporters who do the Patreon make this possible. Well, they make things a lot easier. Like we're getting a summer NAMM house. That's really cool, and we're using your money for it. So if you also want to give us money, check out our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/theeffectsloop. You can check that out. There's different tiers. You can give us whatever amount of money you want. We will not be upset. I don't care if you give us 50 cents a month. I don't think
I can do that.
Well, $1. Because after fees and all that, we'll get like 27 cents.
Yep.
It'll be great. So check out our Patreon. Let's do what's new. Chris, what's new with you?
Absolutely nothing.
I know. You've been gone too. You missed out like a few weeks. We had Ryan on. You didn't get to hang out with Ryan. You missed out. You really did. That was a fun episode. Who else did we have on? We had on, oh my gosh.
Had Paul Pennington on.
Paul Pennington. That's who it was. Paul came on. And we got to hang out with him and chat with him. But you didn't. Did you?
Nope.
No.
The other week I was super busy.
I know you and your busy life.
Yep.
You should totally give up certain things so random people on the internet can listen to you.
You can get my granddad's yard done. That's what I've been doing the last...
I'm supposed to be at work right now, and I'm not. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get fired for this. Okay, so you had nothing, but I did actually get something cool.
Mm-hmm.
I got, if you guys if you don't remember, I think we had an episode with Clifton early on. I know he was on one of our Summer NAMM episodes from last year, and I was on his show, and Scott was on his show when Scott was on our show, so follow that back and forth. But he teamed up with Spruce Effects to come out with a pedal called the Whirlybird. And this pedal is really cool. It's a tremolo and a gain stage all in one box. And the tremolo is a tremolo that is not, I won't say it's not sought after, but it's not a commonly modeled after. And I'm going to look it up.
Oh, you don't remember which brand it was?
No, honestly, this pedal was like, Clifton announced it, and I was like, I've got to have it. Because number one, I've got to support my boy Clifton.
Right.
But I don't have a Spruce Effects pedal. And I like owning a lot of pedals. I've got a problem. The tremolo is based off of the mostly unknown. I love that it's mostly unknown KT1 tremolo effect that used a volume pedal-like design which allowed you to control the speed on the fly with your foot. It wasn't the most useful feature, but the circuit itself is pretty bizarre and interesting, is what they put on the website. So they've made some modifications.
Useful, yet it has a foot switch.
How I don't know. Maybe it was really bad. Like it wasn't like a click on, like your Dunlop.
Or maybe
Law.
it wasn't maybe it was some weird attribute and it wasn't like the rate that was getting adjusted with the
No,
foot
it
switch.
said it allowed you to control the speed on the fly. So it did affect the rate. So, but we're going to listen to this really quick. I was playing with it before the show and I was having too much fun. So this is my, I'm playing my SG with the Crema pickups into a 65 deluxe reverb profile by Sailor Sounds on my Kemper. And this is my clean sound without the effect. I thought I was going for some more than words then.
I was going to say thanks, James Taylor.
Is James Taylor's the Fire and Rain guy, right?
Sure.
He's the one who did like mock, yeah, ing, yeah. I never thought that the Mockingbird song would be a hit, but okay. So this is one single foot switch. So when you click it on, you automatically get the tremolo and the gain. So I've got everything at noon, which it's going to get a little bit noisy just because I have crappy power in my house and it already gets a little loud, but this makes it even better.
It'll be fun.
But you can hear that chopping. So it's got a really cool sound. I'm going to show you how, that's how fast it can go. And this is about as slow as it'll go. I'm going to turn it max depth. I walk along the road. Sorry.
Still thinking Wonderwall.
Anyway, brother, here's Wonderwall. So, that's where it can get. It can get pretty crazy. But this is with the gain max, and it has like, I'm going to turn for the most part, I'm going to turn the tremolo down so you guys can hear the gain on this. It's fantastic. So it's got a really cool sound. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to do... I told Clifton when I got this pedal, there was one song I wanted to play. I'm going to have to play it, so... Let's see. Especially with all this gain. So that's it. That's the fun stuff. So this is a limited edition pedal. I think there might be a few left. So if you want to go over to spruceeffects.com, look in the collaboration section. They've got this pedal, and it looks freaking cool too. It's like got this weird, like 80s Apache helicopter looking thing over this grid. I don't know how to explain it. It reminds me.
Exactly correct.
See, that was a great description. Way to go, Diaz. And there's a flip-flop switch. And I haven't figured out what that does yet. I think it swaps the order. I'm going to assume.
I'm actually on the site. Okay, maybe not. Oh, wait. Nope, that's true.
Is that a depth? Hold on. Where's the flight path? I don't know what it does. Oh, it's an order switch.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's an order switch because there is one side. There's one side that's louder than the other, with like the 60 cycle hum, and we owe them $20 now for saying their name. All right. Yes.
Funny.
Ooh. Aaron. Or well, I think Cole would be the one that would sue us. I'm gonna have to go with Cole Duke on the suing. I think Phil would just be like, "Oh, they said our name," and like Aaron might be the "How dare they say our name."
Phil will probably be saying, "Oh, they said our name" in the middle of like a 7-Eleven getting a drink.
I loved Phil whenever he was in random places. That was my. It's like, where's Phil this week? I still love when he was outside and there was a band playing Queen, or someone was playing Queen on their stereo. I couldn't remember. There's something about like he was walking up. I think maybe it was to a restaurant or something. I can't remember.
Might have
you know
been.
what? We should do a podcast dedicated towards listening to every episode of the Gear Slum and talking about it.
What are we gonna call it?
Slumtastic? Slim Slum? I could be Mr. Slim Slum because it's ironic. It's like Little John.
If you say so.
Okay. So we're going to move on to geared news. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gear news on our list. I don't know why I had to say it like we're on Sesame Street, but it worked.
Thanks, Count Chocula.
That wasn't Count Chocula. That's the cereal guy. It was the
sure?
Count. Yes.
You sure you're
Count
not having that effect at the Bernstein Bears?
The Mandela effect? No,
Yeah.
I'm not having a Mandela effect. Count Chocula is in the same category as Boo Berry. Do you think Boo Berry and Casper are the same?
No, very different.
Okay, so Count Chocula and the Count are totally different.
It's
like
to get you tripped up. So good
It's like
job.
saying Rex from Toy Story is the same as Barney the dinosaur.
How dare you make that
Yeah.
assumption?
All right. I love who's the guy who voiced. Never mind, we're getting distracted. Okay, all right. So Friedman launches the Mike No Mo guitar amp cab simulation box, and if anyone mentions it and doesn't say it like Mike No Mo, then they can't say it because that's how I hear it in my head. But that's the actual name of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
It's actually printed on the thing.
on the front, and it's MIC hyphen NO hyphen
AEY
MO with the little apostrophe thing.
in between. Naming is like a 2.
Okay, so
Looks is definitely pretty solid. It looks like their amps. It's got the gold, bronze, like faceplate, and the black shell.
you know it's Friedman. You look at it and you're like, yeah, that looks very Friedman. It's got the Marshall aesthetic, but more modern. Okay, so I was knocking this in the pre-ep. Kind of was. So pretty much it's a DI box for your head, your tube head.
But not a amp load.
It's not a load box, so you can't run completely silent, can you?
No, you still have to have a speaker somewhere.
You have to have a speaker somewhere. So, oops. So, I mean, it is what it is, but it's got, the ground lift. It's got, I guess the mic access is if it's on center or on the edge. And it's got negative 10 dB and negative 30 dB. It's cool. The thing that made me just now kind of turn around and be like, okay, it's not like what I was thinking. It's only $99.
Hold on a second. Redbox DI. So it's kind of competitive. I'm sure most people probably know the Hughes and Kettner Redbox DI. It's the same concept for a speaker sim, and it's 120.
But does it take load?
No. But so, I think this has been like one of the few that's actually in this price range.
Yeah.
So
And being
the
from
Redbox has
Friedman,
been the
that's
good-
impressive.
Oh yeah. So, and I feel like Redbox, even though it's Hughes and Kettner, most people may not have heard of Hughes and Kettner, but might have heard of Friedman. I don't know. When
No, I think
of-
more people know H&K than Friedman. I mean, Hughes and Kettner's
maybe it's
a
just
pretty
because
big
I
name.
don't think about
How about this?
H&K that
This is what
often.
you say. You say, it's the amps with the blue LEDs in the clear front. And they're like, oh, yeah, I know that.
The guy from Rush uses them.
He used to use them. I don't think he uses them anymore. But that's back whenever he used Paul Reed Smith as well.
Oof.
Hey, don't oof, Paul. You know what? I'm not even talking to you today. This is
Well, why
So-
did he used to use them? There's the question.
well. He used Gibson for a long time, but he started doing a lot of stuff with tremolo. I mean, listen to like Limelight, the solo to Limelight,
Right.
and he needed something with a really good tremolo system. So Paul Reed Smith makes an excellent tremolo system on their guitars. It's hands down phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's when Gibson came with the Alex Lifeson signature, the Access Les Paul, which has the built-in Floyd Rose. So I mean, amp situation, I don't know. He doesn't use, if you think about it, he uses some effects, but he really doesn't use as much as you'd think for being prog rock.
No. Then again, all you really need is a chorus.
I mean, the guy who uses a lot of the effects is Geddy Lee. He's the one over there with like 5 pedal boards and playing the piano in the bass line on the little organ thing. But anyways, let's move on to the next thing. Because speaking of Paul Reed Smith, sucker, I don't know why I'm like so defensive of Paul Reed Smith today. PRS unveils the CE24 Smokeburst limited electric guitars. Paul Reed Smith's been announcing a lot of stuff. Most of it's just like different finishes. It's not
Which
like
is
they've come up.
good because they're
They're
a little
that's
different.
kind of like Gibson. Gibson's been doing that. Like everything's just new paint finishes. I mean, they did the Silver Sky, but that was a year ago. What have you done for me this year, Paul Reed Smith?
When did they give you the bird inlays on the?
C's?
Yeah.
I don't know. A while ago. We were talking before the episode. Okay, so Diaz has, what's the word I'm looking for? A discrimination against dot inlays. If
That'd be
it's
the
not
best
on
way
a,
to put it.
if it's not like on a Strat or Les Paul Jr. And that's making a lot of noise. Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Mark this down so we can like take this out. Okay, there it goes.
It's
That
not
sucks.
editing it out.
Ah, all right. That's what a Kemper sounds like whenever you shut it off and it's still connected. Okay, but too bad wouldn't do that. Okay, I don't like dot inlays unless it's like on a Les Paul Jr. or a Strat or a Telly or something that like would look weird with a different style. Like Paul Reed Smith, when I think Paul Reed Smith, I think you've got to have the bird inlays. When I think Gibson, I think you got to have the trapezoid inlays. It's just I don't know. Like Jackson, you got to have the shark fin inlays.
Yeah.
Like I like different inlays. I mean, I think a dot only looks good if like nothing else is available on that style, or it looks bad with a different style. I mean, Tellys, unless you're doing a deluxe, look horrible with block inlays. So do Strats. I think a lot of that too has to do with the radius of the fretboard.
Maybe because like when you get to the Fender basses, they look really good with block inlays.
Yes. Now Fender basses look great with block inlays. I think it also has more. The neck seems wider on those. Like I think when I think of a Gibson neck, I think a little bit wider of a neck. When I'm sure they're close to the same. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just like if you get a Gibson Les Paul and it has dot inlays, I'm gonna judge you. Maybe not to your face, like behind your face, because I'm nice like that. But anywho,
Such a good guy, Diaz.
yeah, it is what it is. Hey, at least I accept it, and like I don't try to pretend that I'm a better human being than I am, because I'm totally not. Let's see. So new colors, they look pretty cool. It's Paul Reed Smith. I do like because it's the CEs. It has looks like the maple headstocks. I'm guessing.
That looks right.
Ebony fingerboards. So ebony fingerboards, that's really cool. To avoid pesky sights wrangles, what does that mean?
Oh, like back when they had was it mahogany? Or no, Brazilian rosewood or something like that. That was getting all the citations and stuff. Like when Gibson had their big takedown.
Okay. Ebony wasn't. It's what is it now? It's rosewood, Brazilian
It was
rosewood.
some kind of unless it was like African mahogany.
I can't remember what it was. It might be
But I
mahogany.
think rosewood was on the list, but there is a decent size list.
Yeah. Okay, now that makes sense. Moving along.
The more
What-
you know. Do 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 do.
Okay, I just want to point out. So, the best thing about this is we found this on a news article, and the pun for the name for the name of the article is fantastic. I'm going to read it just like it's written. Zvex's new Fuzz Factory is a clear winner
Ha!
and it would be a lot funnier if you could see what I'm looking at. It's a Fuzz Factory in a clear enclosure. Zachary Vex is now doing a limited edition clear version of the Fuzz Factory, and I really want it, but it's $250. And my wife really likes the electric to be kept on, so selfish.
We're in that nice little Tennessee spring where you can get a month or so with nothing going on. Just open a window.
Damn right, Chris. You know what? Screw her. She can just deal with it, because we might have. I can put a 9-volt in this. It's got a 9-volt in it already.
Do you have a fireplace?
No, but I've got a kid's room who needs to be cleaned up, so I can light that on fire.
Just roll a 55-gallon drum into the middle of the living room.
Like a hobo family.
Do not try this at home.
Okay, yeah, so go take a look at it. This is really one of those things. I can describe it to you. You can imagine what it looks like, but go look. It's cool. I want it. It's limited, and I wonder if it's going to go up in value. I doubt it, though.
I doubt it, since it's a plastic case.
Yeah, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like trying to convince my mom to get. You'll never use it. Yeah, but it looks cool. All right.
I think we both kind of also had the same agreement that, like, you would have hoped the LED would have lit up the entire case somehow.
Yeah, it
Or at
only
least,
lights
like,
up
a knob or under the knobs. No.
I still think it'd be easy just to attach another LED.
I mean,
And just
I would
put it towards the
assume
bottom
so.
of the case.
Yeah.
Get a really bright one from like Radio Shack if you have a Radio Shack nearby, which you probably don't. All right, move on. Chris, why don't you talk about this next thing?
My list got out of order, so let me go to our thing.
It should still be the same thing.
Okay.
Or are you on?
No, I'm
Chris-
on the one you opened up.
So yeah. It should be in order. We're on this one. If you can see me
Okay.
highlighting.
So, yeesh. Where was I? I had to click back. Rocktron brings the Voodoo Valve guitar preamp back to life with a limited edition re-release. I pulled this just because I've been in that middle territory of thinking of going rack again, or just period. And Valve preamps just seem cool, because I've had people suggest the Marshall,
The JCM 800 one or whatever, like
yeah,
is
the
the standard.
JCM1 or JC1, something like that. And it's become like really highly recommended. And since this is Rocktron, I think they're pretty good with their amp sim pedals.
Rocktron's one of those weird pedal companies, or weird companies in general, because like they make budget stuff, but it's usually pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rocktron made the Hush pedal, which is a pretty popular noise gate. Or like they've got a rack one, I think, that's really popular in the rack world.
Yeah.
And then what else do they make? Don't they make the Banshee or the talk box?
Actually, I'm on their website. Let me. Yep, they make the talk boxes.
Mm-hmm. I used to have one of those. I loved it. I went through this really big Alice in Chains phase.
Mm.
You know, I think I'm still in a really big Alice in Chains phase.
Oh,
I
they
don't think-
literally just do 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's only a few pedals.
And 4 out of the 5 are noise gates, I guess. Or
They've had more than that, but they really aren't a popular brand anymore.
kind of makes me sad.
It's
but
weird
anyway.
because they're reissuing this, and it looks like they're using the same graphics. It looks like just the basic credit card machine.
Yeah, but you got to think, when was this probably popular? 80s, maybe into the 90s.
Okay, so did
So
they
you're
just
gonna
have a
have-
bunch laying around, and they're like, "Oh, it's a
When-
reissue."
What kind of what kind of power is on this thing? Come on, refresh. Show me the back. Oh, maybe, because normally most newer rack units come with your computer, like having the back of a PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, normally they come with those now.
I have a Rocktron floor mate It's like a looper.
Oh
And-
yeah, I saw that too. They're the ones that do the MIDI
Oh yeah, dude.
floorboards.
It was such a crazy experience trying to wire that thing up because you like have to run each channel into each other. So I was doing it with George L's. It was like 40 George L cables because you have to like run out into one,
Yep.
then run the pedal, then run that pedal, and then run out, run it into one. And it was just like, oh my heavens.
That's honestly been one of the biggest things that's kept me from doing, just putting everything in a rack or getting a floorboard unit.
Who makes
It's all the extra.
who makes the Voodoo Labs control the what's it called? It's like
It's just floor control, unless that's the
No.
Behringer thing.
I forgot what it's called.
What'd you
It's
say the brand was?
Voodoo
Lab?
Labs. No, it's not the control switcher. It's
Ground
another.
control.
The ground control. Ground control to Major Tom. That's what I'd do. If I was going to do rack mount, I would be using a Ground Control Pro. Because that's what I'm pretty sure that was a John Mayer used that when he uses his rack system.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he uses. There, I mean, that's like an industry standard, and I
It
trust.
really is.
Voodoo Labs is like, and they're pretty rugged stuff.
Oh yeah, I think their like power supply is the industry standard.
Yeah, all
There's
of them.
no way around that.
Yeah, I had the 4x4 forever.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
think
still using a pedal power too, like my original
Yeah.
one that I bought years ago.
They got great stuff. All right, so you should go check that out. All right, this this next one's great. So, Chris, why don't you tell us what happened?
Oh no.
Come on.
Kirk Hamlet, apparently.
What?
Is this not the one that we're on? Did you?
No. What did you just call him?
What did I say? Kirk? I said
No,
Kirk.
Yeah, say the
Oh,
last
Hammett.
name.
Did I
You
say
said Hamlet. Yeah. That was,
Today in rock history.
yeah.
Anyway, Kirk Hammett slipped on his wall and fell on stage. I don't know if this is the first time this has happened. I would have liked to have assumed no, but apparently it's newsworthy. So,
Yeah.
shout out to Michael Astley Brown for and did you watch the video?
Wait, hold on. What?
There is a video.
Okay, my headset's cutting out.
Oh my goodness.
All right, say it one more time.
Did you watch the video?
Oh yeah, I saw it like
Okay,
the day
good.
it got posted. Yeah, I just want to say, wah, 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 wah. That's what I heard. Okay, so he's got like plastic because it's raining.
Supposedly raining.
I don't see any rain in
Nope.
the video.
What gets me is this is probably a MIDI expression pedal. It's not
Yeah.
an actual thing. So
No, well,
why are you that worried about it?
he has to play the wah,
Yeah.
and he's at that point in the stage. Yeah, because he uses the rack mount unit.
Yeah.
So like that's a controller.
Yeah, so I know there's like 5 of them scattered around stage.
Well, but it's not like.
I'm talking about the plastic bag over it. That seems like a safety hazard.
Well, I think it was to make sure the pedal doesn't get destroyed.
It's a metal enclosure. It's fine.
Okay. Why don't you go play your astronomer out in the rain?
Would not be the first time I've done that.
Okay, whatever, Chris. Mr. I'm too good for Kirk Hammett.
Who's
Ain't nothing wrong
Metallica
with Kirk.
again?
No. Who's the Edge?
I only listen to music by real guitarists.
Oh, nice.
Moving on.
All right. So Manson, which is not Marilyn or Charles,
How sad did
Unveils-
that make you?
like kind of like whenever you were watching the end of Lassie not the end of Lassie, the end of Old Yeller, and you knew it was coming, but you still were kind of like, oh, that kind of hurts some. That's where I was at on this. So what they came out with is some Tele Deluxe looking guitars with some TV Jones in them and a Bigsby, and this black one right here's got a lot of extra switches.
Yeah, I wasn't too keen on the one in the middle, but I really liked the Tele shape because it's got what would that almost be? Like the pickguard shape. Kind of reminds me of a Dan Electro shape.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, it's kind of got that Dan Electro feel.
But the finishes look really good. There's no dot inlays. There's no inlays at all. So hopefully that would.
You know what? That makes me okay.
Okay.
If you're not gonna put, if it's like dots, you're like, no, I just won't put any at all. Then, and I'm like, you know what? Good choice, Charles Manson.
He's gonna write us and email us. So like, please don't say that again.
Is he still alive? I thought he died.
I don't know if he's gonna write us talking about this Manson.
Oh yeah, he's like, stop it, please.
I've
Sorry.
said that 500 times this week already.
From him, or I'm so confused.
Good.
I'm lost.
Oh, this is made in the Wait. Oh, it's made in the UK. Interesting.
Interesting, he says.
But yeah, these are really cool. Sadly, the site doesn't give any information really about like neck profiles and stuff. But if I had to assume, it'd probably be a standard Telecaster Strat filling neck. But just overall, I don't hate these. That's all I can say.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the pick guard, but I could live with it.
I like the pick guard. I think it looks good. All right. Kudos to you, Mr. Manson, who's not Charles. All right. And then last, G&L Fullerton Deluxe Skyhawks Take Flight. Did we talk about these last week, or was I going to?
I don't know. I probably should have confirmed, but...
I've seen them before.
Oh, yes, you did talk about them last week.
Well, they might have been on there. I don't think Ryan and I got to them, though.
Okay. Then we'll
That's
do it
what
again
it was.
now that I'm here.
Now that Chris is here to save the day. All right, so G&L Fullerton Deluxe Skyhawk. These are guitars. They look like... What, didn't Fender just do like a Strat meets a bass thing?
Yeah, they did like a jazz bass body with
Yeah.
Strat.
Like, okay, so...
pickups and stuff.
So this looks kind of like G&L did the same thing, in my opinion, with the way that the pickguard is shaped, kind of like the bass.
Yeah, I can see it. And it's got
Kind of
like
got that. It's a two-piece, part metal, part, two-ply toilet paper or whatever.
Is that how 2-ply works?
I don't know. People are like, do you want 5-ply? I'm like, hey, last I heard, more ply the better. Let's do this.
I've been living with 1-ply for a while, and it's been the worst.
Listen, at least you're not taking 1-ply and splitting it in half like Dwight did.
Ugh. Those poor people.
It's not even 1-ply, Dwight. All right. So they look okay.
Yeah, it's just something about it. I don't totally hate it. Partly it's probably because of the orange finish. Are you ready to hate it?
Are you about ready to hate it?
Maybe.
$15.99.
Definitely, if this was in that 500 range with the Fallout, I would probably jump on this because it does look pretty cool. But
if this gets on the stupid deal of the day, I might actually get it.
Yeah.
G&L, our stupid deal of the day, brought to you by G&L, D'Angelico, and Pigtronics.
Feels bad to be them.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to our topic. Ryan and I almost finished up the top 5s list. I feel like we should finish that up really quick, and then we can go on to like a fun topic.
Oh, these aren't fun topics.
Well, funner. Well, these are all right. I don't know who put these up there.
These are the serious ones. Oh wait,
are they? No, go to mine.
I am on your. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah,
I'm on
the correct one.
There's only 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are these really the
I don't-
important ones? Do you?
I don't know marching band songs.
Okay, so but what if you could pick 5 marching band songs or 5 songs to be done by a marching band? They could be pop songs that you want to see in marching band format. What would they be? You ready for mine?
Can we just be like the top
No,
5
no.
tracks off of the Joshua Tree album?
No. Listen, here's what we're gonna. I'm actually gonna give you marching band songs that are my top 5.
Oh my.
Number 1, Malagueña. It's a fantastic song. It's actually a really big and mariachi and like classical guitarists play it a
Okay.
lot. That's actually a really good guitar song. I love it. So Malagueña. I love The Planets by Gustav Holt, but my favorite is Mars, the Bringer of War. It's just really cool 5/4 timing. Second, third, I'd have to say the Pirates of the Caribbean theme. We did
Yes.
that in my marching band. It was really fun. And if you've ever seen a sousaphone player in 4 measures get from the 10-yard line to the 50-yard line, that's where it's at. You see my fat ass running across a football field. I used to play football too, but you saw me. I was a lineman. We did a whole lot of running. I got more exercise in marching band than I did in football, I think. We marched from like the middle school to the high school when we were in middle school marching band, and that was a nightmare. Like you could walk to the schools. It wasn't like we're going on a death march, but let's see. So
is the
1, 2,
Imperial March on your list?
no, not for marching band. Let's see. Man, I'm like blanking on the name of it, but the Louie Louie. You got to go Louie Louie. That's a classic.
Yeah.
So that's 4. And my last one was, okay, this is one that I think you would be very happy with. My friend Chris, we used to not tab out, but we used to actually write the music for like our favorite pop punk songs, and we used to do them as stands tunes. Like our band director would let us do them. So tie for 5th goes to, I got a 3-way tie for 5th because they're pop songs that we just turned into stands tunes. Hey Ya by Outkast.
Okay.
That was fun.
Wait,
We also
that was
did.
out when you were still in high school?
How fucking old do you think I am?
I'm trying to figure out how old I am because I'm not much
I'm
younger
30.
than you.
I'm
Yeah.
30. Yeah. That wasn't, yeah, when I was in high school, that was out. Wow. So Hey Ya, we also did Man Overboard by Blink-182, which is a really cool song. If you haven't checked it out, it's right after the drummer Scott left the band or got kicked out. They wrote that actually about him getting kicked out of the band. But it's got a really cool bass line, and it's actually a really cool song. And then we did Basket Case. So Basket Case, we actually turned out, and we actually made it sound really cool. So those are my top 5 marching band songs.
Not
Just
bad.
pick one song, Chris. Pick the Rock and Roll Part 2.
Oh no, actually, Until the End of the World by U2 would actually be really cool as a marching
U2,
band
who's
song.
that?
The not Green Day punk band from the early days.
From Ireland.
Yes.
All right. Top 5 socks.
Ooh.
Do you have a top 5 pair of socks you own?
Are we talking about like the actual individual pairs?
Yeah, they got to be like the.
Okay, so I
think that
got a
would be-
pair of white Hanes that has a hole in the pinky toe. That's great. But then I have this other pair that has a hole in the heel, and oh my god. No.
Okay. I was about to say, are you serious? Because like that's about how I'm like, about to describe my socks.
No, actually, I really do actually love fun socks. So I have a pair of squirrel socks that kind of has the squirrels with like trapezoids as their shape and color. So that's
Okay.
pretty cool. I bought a pair with a bunch of different dogs on it holding a tennis ball. Kind of adorable because it reminds me of my dog when she like runs up to me like wanting to play ball. I just recently got a pair of bright pink, believe it or not, ones with dogs on them.
Okay.
They were gifted to me. That's 3. Oh, I do have a pair of Jurassic Park with a raptor on it. Those are pretty good. And then, yeah, just, the classic Hanes white, can't go wrong with them, but they're not as stylish.
Okay. I've got, that was like 5 for you, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 1 pair of socks. I've got these kind of cream colored with blue and dots. They've got the little sticky pads on the bottom, and now that I'm getting older, I find out how useful that is around the house.
All right.
So those are my number 1s. My number 2, I've got a pair of, don't judge me, Duck Dynasty socks that, what is, it's got something that one of them says on there. But
God bless America.
no, I need to get some God Bless America socks. I need some like straight up like American flag socks. I've got some Darth Vader socks. Are there? So those are what, number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I've got number 4 is my all around. I've got my black pair of socks. By I mean my black pair of socks, I've got 20 pairs of black socks that are the exact same. So that's it. And then my number 5 would have to be, I've got these pair of black dress socks that have like red diamonds on them. Those are pretty comfortable. That's number 5. Okay, so that was absolutely useless, and I hope no one fell asleep. But we are going to talk about something that's actually gear related. Believe it or not, on the Effects Loop, we're supposed to talk about gear and crap. But so I was going on Facebook like I do all the time, and I happened to see a post. I'm in a lot of the big groups where it's just random stuff, just because I like. It's not that I like to see these posts. These posts entertain me. And this guy said, just saw a post about ... How many guitar players still tune by ear? It just made me think. Question face. So, new paragraph. Back when music was music, because it's not music anymore. He didn't say that. I said that. Back when music was music and great songs and great groups, we all used our ear, period. Just a statement. They use their ear. It's the new generation that have the 100 different tuners, 2 million effect pedals, YouTube, etc. We never thought about music theory. Okay, guitar players used to never think about music theory and how many scales we knew. New paragraph. We practiced until our fingers hurt, then practiced some more. We just played. So, the comments started, and I stopped following them whenever this happened. These were the comments. I tune by ear. Haven't used a tuner since I was a teen. I always wince at my buddies when they, in all caps, need one. So I put stupid people with calculators. When I was a kid, we did our math on paper. Haven't used a calculator in years. Every time I see someone at work using a calculator, I laugh at them. Because I couldn't, without putting my point. So what I want to talk about, and this is also something that you can go into the group, continue the discussion. I think some people made smart aleck comments on there, but we really didn't talk about it. How you feel about this?
Do you need to talk about this?
I need to talk about this because it's upsetting that, number one, we have new technology that has improved things.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, we have new technology that has made things sound worse. That's just the way it is. Because in all things, you're going to have something that has become worse by it and something that has become better. I mean, that's just how it is. Like, that's how technology works. Some things will quote unquote get worse for people. Look at radios, or not radios, but look at like record players. The way we distribute music. Oh, record players were the best. They sounded great. No, they sound cool. Like they really do. And I think that some of the mixes sound better on records.
Yes.
Some of them. But it's also the fact that you have to take in the account that you're hearing a new mix of a song you've heard a lot. So that's exciting to you no matter what platform it is.
Yeah. I can see that.
That's like whenever, I mean, there's like 2 versions of Hey Jude that have different guitar stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I hear the one that I'm not used to hearing growing up, I get excited. I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds like, it's like hearing the song for the first time. But this doesn't make it better. It makes it different. And tuners, I don't care who you are. Tuning with a pedal is 99.99999% of the time better than tuning by ear. Very few people have perfect pitch. And the whole thing is all it takes is if you have 5 people who tune by ear and they play together, they're not going to be in tune with each other. Using the pedal creates the standard of, if you're doing 440 or 432 or whatever you're doing, that creates the standard in which you're tuning to. I feel better now. A little bit.
But I would hope if you got 5 people tuning by ear, y'all would at least tune up to each other after one of y'all gets tuned up.
But that takes longer and is more annoying than
sitting there tuning silently for like 10 seconds and then being done.
Yeah, I love it. I went and saw who was it? I can't remember. I saw Blues Traveler, and they were just tuning to each other while we were sitting there watching them. It was great. Best 5 minutes of my life. Sorry, that was very smart, Alec. That's not what happens. That's not what these people do anymore.
Right.
And like, you got all these guitar players. That's why you're playing in your bedroom. Could you imagine if a well-known guitar player, say, all right, I went and saw the Jimi Hendrix Experience thing, or Experience Hendrix. You've got a fantastic guitar player. You got Dweezil Zappa. Who else was there? Eric Johnson was there. Zach Wilde. You got all these guitar players. Imagine if they just tune by ear. Like, what if, or what if they hired a guitar tech and he's like, no, I don't use tuners. I tune by ear. Do you think they would still be like on tour with that guy?
Nope.
No. Stop being stupid, people. All right. I'm getting a little hateful.
In the words of Philip DeFranco, stop being stupid.
Stop being stupid. All right. But what's some new technology that you feel like people are fighting that we should embrace? I think amp modeling and amp profiling is something that people are fighting, and it's silly to fight it.
Yeah, because I'm starting to get there too. I used to kind of hate it, but in the back of my mind, it's like it's so much easier. And by the time you buy something like a Kemper or Helix, you have everything. Versus for me having to go out to get how much are AC30s now? $1,300 AC30 if I bought it new, and then a $3,000 Plexi. Well, no, I would get the cheaper studio line, but that's still $1,400 right there on its own. That's 3,000 ish in amps when a Helix is what, 1,500 right now.
Yep. And the Helix is a great product.
Yeah, and if I wanted to get a Kemper, that's still
$2,000.
$2,000. That's still cheaper.
Yeah.
And that one actually has a power amp in it if I wanted to.
Now you're getting it like 2,400-ish.
Okay, well, still. That gives me 2 amps, actually more amps, but both the 2 that I want with multiple presets, so I'm not having to go change it on the fly.
So that way you don't have to feel the need to buy a tremolo pedal if you want tremolo.
Yeah.
Either. You've got it right there at your feet.
And worst case scenario, that also like replaces effects.
Yeah.
Unless I just wanted to have an actual drive pedal, because...
Yeah, but Chris, what if you get to the gig and your Helix has to reboot.
Are we talking about reboot or factory reset?
Reboot.
Because there's a difference. Because if it just reboots,
Oh, no.
hold on, guys. Give me a second.
Uh-oh. That's my ringtone. I love it. Sorry. That was not even an important call. I never want to hear you say I want it that way.
What show is that? That
Cute.
had the
Brooklyn
guy? Yes.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Oh my gosh. That is by far that is TV gold. If that doesn't get like saved in a vault somewhere, I'm gonna be upset because that was my favorite thing ever.
He was singing karaoke. Well, let's try. What song was he singing?
All right.
But yeah, I can definitely agree with amp models. Earlier,
What about? I think I put down. What about the Line 6 Variac systems? Oh,
see, I would
heard
need. Yeah, I
that.
would need to touch one again because the last time I've touched one was I think the battery was dying and I could tell zero difference between each thing. If it works like it should, as the biggest things I would need is the tonal differences between, having a Strat for positions 2 and 4, P90 and Humbucker. I don't care about like Jazz Masters or like, oh, this is a 76 Strat versus this other one, which is a 55, whatever. It's like, okay, I don't care about that. Give me a bass sound and I'll go with it. I do like the idea of having an acoustic on board, and what else do they have?
Look at what's it Piezo? Look at the Piezo system.
I actually have thought about that because if I was to completely trick out my Tele Deluxe, I was actually debating on getting a piezo system.
Is it
the
Piezo?
Ghost?
I think
it's piezo or Pezio or something like that.
Piezo. I always call it Piezo.
It sounds more fancy that way.
It sure does. Sounds Italian, brother.
But,
yeah, I'm gonna say. I'm saying, brother.
The Ghost system is pretty cool to go in guitars, and I'm thinking about possibly adding that to my Tele or my Strat when it comes in. Mm-hmm. I think a Strat would be a good one to do it on too, because that would make it pretty all around. Actually, I've been really, really wanting to build a Strat lately, putting Seymour Duncan P rails in. So who was that? Cole Duke or whoever made the post in their group about why the hell would you put humbuckers in a Strat?
That was Sean Wright.
Oh, well, Sean, there you go. That one's for you.
I've got a humbucker coming in my Strat.
Yeah. So, like in the coil split and all that, if you're putting that much work into a Strat to make it as versatile as possible, why not?
Okay, let's talk about some of the things that we should not embrace that have been new.
Robotic tune. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, who was it? Andrew from Fox Chiro. That's what he said. He was like, "Hold my beer" from the Gibson Robot Tuners. Those still aren't something I don't think that people should get mad about. It was a decent product.
If you really think about
thing.
it, if you're sitting there like talking in the middle of a set and all you gotta do is like flip it on and just strum and they do their thing,
yeah,
how much less distracted you are to be able to talk.
Yep. I think that there's one thing that I can always think of. There's two things: the jellyfish pick, and
I never had
and
one.
The
Thankfully.
Source Audio hot hand. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I remember that.
The ring that was the effects or the expression pedal.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. Don't do it, Source Audio. Source Audio is one of those companies that it's like too smart for their own good.
Yeah.
It's like reel it back in. You're in 2019. We're living in 2000.
It still reminds me. I still want an LA lady from them. Maybe just have one drive on my board.
And just use MIDI to control it?
Yep.
Yep. Ooh, honestly, if I was to do MIDI with a drive, I want to do the Scarlett
from
the Is it Sayla, the Scarlet Love?
I think so.
Yeah, that looks cool. The V3 has MIDI controller.
Yeah, I think that was the one that John Snyder was like really, really excited about a few years ago. He could not stop talking about it.
Yeah, might have been. All right. So, if you've got some ideas of things that we should embrace or not embrace, give us a call. I don't know why we're going like AM radio on this, but sounded good.
Give us a call at our Google Plus number and leave us a message.
Wait, oh my gosh. I wonder if 60 Cycle Hum still has their phone number you can call.
Do you have it saved right offhand to find out?
No.
Damn.
Or we do it on air. That'd be great. All right. So thanks for joining us. Leave us a review on iTunes or whatever you're listening to. Join our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/The Effects Loop. Follow us on Instagram. Check out our YouTube. Subscribe, share, all that goodness. If you have any ideas for topics you want us to talk about, or you just want to tell us we suck, you can go to theeffectsloop@gmail.com and send a message there. You can connect with us on LinkedIn. And also, once again, check out our Patreon. We love it when people give us money. So for The Effects Loop, I'm Diaz.
I'm Chris.
We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
So let's come together, show 'em some love. There are many things that this world needs, but the most important one is unity. United we stand, divided we fall. Through the ages this has been the same.
Remember how we used to like argue? Not argue, but like, are we keeping you in the loop? I don't know. We used to have to like, who's leading this week? Now it's just like, I give up even asking.
Yep, until I feel like it's like, oh no, I will definitely do it.
No, what's going to happen is in like 3 months, I'm going to get a strongly worded email. I feel pushed out. You don't let me do the intro ever. I'm like, and I'll be like, what? You never want to do it.
I'll send it to the email address too.
Yeah. Like, Chris, you have my phone number. You have my on Messenger. All right.
I'll write a letter.
A strongly worded letter.
Desperate times, calling desperate measures. So why don't we be desperate to love each other?
Let's erase hate from the dictionary. Why is negativity always drawn out? Picture every visualized love. Energized lives together.